All right, welcome everybody. Eugene Hughes Motorized. Today I am doing a video review of the Bestarc BTC500DP 9Gen plasma cutter, okay? They asked me to do a video review for them. I did. I'm not going to make you wait. I give it 2 thumbs up, okay? It's a good little machine. I've worked with them before. They make quality equipment. It's nice and rugged. It's got very simple controls on it here. It's got a air regulator built onto the front where you can dial it in, get your air pressure here. It's got a guide that's printed on the top of the machine, let you know according to your thickness of your metal and what voltage you're using, how you need to set your air pressure, and how many amps you need here. It goes up to 50 amps on 220 volts, and that'll get you up to 5/16 inch thick steel, which is pretty good for a home shop. It'll go to 1/4 inch thick steel. Once again, that's on 110 volt, a 1/4 inch thick steel max on 35 amps on 110 volts. I think that's plenty good for a 110 volt plasma cutter here. Everything looks robust. Nothing looks cheap or poorly made. Quality little machine here. Like I said, all the controls are pretty easily laid out here. You got 2T, 4T operation. 2T, you press the trigger, it fires. You release the trigger, it stops firing. 4T, you press the trigger, it fires, you can release it, continues firing until you press the trigger again, and then it stops firing. And you can adjust the pilot arc timing on it, as well as the post flow to make sure you cool off your consumables after you're through cutting, have the air flow out a little bit more. So we want it, you can conserve on your air that way, and as well conserve on your consumables. All right, this is a well-packed unit here. Now, I noticed on the sticker on the outside, this machine has a 60% duty cycle. This isn't a toy that also cuts. This is a serious tool. Okay, so inside you've got, of course, the unit. You've got an air hose. We've got a robust working clamp, about an 8-foot cord on it, near as I could tell here. You've got some extra consumables, the cups, the electrodes, and the like. You've got some Teflon tape. You've got the instructions. You have a 110 to 220 adapter on it. And let's take a look at the cutting torch there. You've got a trigger guard. You're not going to be firing it off for no reason or something just bumping into it. Looks well built. The working clamp, let's go ahead and get that thing plugged in. I'm going to show you how quick it is to set this machine up. Get the working clamp in and tight. We're going to put that on our work surface. We're not going to use the 110 volt. I prefer the 220 volt. With the 110, you can go up to 1/4 inch thick steel, and with 220, you can go up to 5/16. So that's what we're going to do there. We've got the black cap on the lower right-hand side. That is where you connect the air hose that goes to the cutting torch. You don't need to get it super tight. Just get it hand tight, just a little firmly snug. We don't need to break anything, okay? You've got the black wire, that is for the trigger, and that's going to go on the left hand side there close to the working clamp where that goes in. And it has a threaded collar that you push it in all the way and tighten up your threaded collar. And then the red wire goes on the post with the red plastic knob on it, and you're good to go. Let's hook up the air next. The Bestarc manual calls for a minimum of 8.8 CFM of air from your compressor. Mine only puts out 5.5 CFM. What that means is my compressor will cycle a little bit earlier, and I won't get the full advantage of the duty cycle of the unit, but it works for me. Alright, the E05 is an error code indicating we don't have any air. See that little button right there? I press that button, we're letting air out, and what it does is it tells you how many PSI of air is going out while it's cutting. Okay, now you've got the little red bars and the little green bars there. See how we now have 3 green bars? That means we got plenty of air. Any red bars above that means you may be wasting a little bit of air. So if your compressor can't quite keep up, you may want to turn that down. That way we can stay in the zone. All right, so we got this button over here on the right hand side there, and I'm adjusting. It says PT is lit up above it, and that adjusts the post flow. You want it about 3 seconds. That's going to cool down your tip and the little cup on the torch there after each cut. Press it again, and you got the PA, pilot arc. That's how long the pilot arc will stay lit. 5 seconds is plenty on it here. Just wanted to show you how you can make your adjustment there. And you've got the 2T, 4T in the middle. let's go ahead and cut some expanded metal here. Now you'll note I am releasing the trigger each time I get in a gap there. With the pilot arc, I could have just pulled in on the trigger and just kept cutting all the way, or done it with 4T, press once and it'll cut all the way through. Cut through the 16 gauge expanded metal like nothing. Thumbs up on that one there. Alright, let's do some real skinny 20 gauge steel. It's just going to zip right through it like nothing. Not even a challenge for this right here. You can do it at about 20 amps. Here is some .043 aluminum. And actually I moved a little too slow at the start there. And you'll see I got some extra little crumbly bits at the end of it here. The aluminum, once I started zipping faster, it went ahead and blew right through it. But you can see there it cleaned off no problem. Alright, so I've got some crusty, rusty 1/4 inch steel here. I'm going to clean it off mainly so the guide on the tip of the torch doesn't hang up as I'm pulling on it, creating any spots or divots. With the pilot arc technology, it'll blast right through that rust and get in there and cut, as long as you have a good path to ground from your working clamp. Okay, so I do a couple of test passes to see how I'm going to do it. This being a 1/4 inch, it's a thicker cut, so you're not going to zip right through all the way with this right here. And if you start getting any sparks shooting back up at you, that means that you're pulling a little too fast, or your torch angle is wrong, and you're not going all the way through. It handled this 1/4 inch steel just fine. Had to use a wrench to break it off there, but that's no muss, no fuss. A little tappa with a hammer, and what little dross that was on there is gone, no problems. Or as well, you can use an angle grinder to clean it up. Alright, now here's going to be a test. This is some 3/8 inch thick steel. We're approaching the limit on this here. You can go up to 5/16, so this is about 1/16 of an inch thinner than the max on this here. I'm willing to bet I could cut a 1/2 inch thick with this torch here. I just have to move rather slow, and the duty cycle might kick in a little bit quicker. See where the spark shot up? That's because I was pulling just a little bit too fast. And it's going to do it one more time right about there, and just push it forward and pull back again. And it's a matter of just getting to know your tool and utilize it correctly. Little tap with the hammer, got it clean there, but those little areas where I moved a little too fast didn't really create a problem at all. That can be cleaned up real easy with the flap disc, and you're good to go. Hey, I am impressed with this machine here. I hope you liked the video. I've got links down below for the machine, for the consumables. I give it 2 thumbs up. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Take care.